For those who were here last class, I will do a quick review. We spoke about Rosh Chodesh, the new month, right? Do you remember this? There are 12 new months in a year, and every single Rosh Chodesh, what are we doing? It's everything. It's actually, I'm not even going to do a review for it because a lot of what we referenced there, we're going to be speaking about now in Tishrei. But the idea was the moon, right? The Rosh Chodesh. When you go outside every single new month, right, and you look at the moon, what size is the moon? You would think full, right? You would think full. You would think like a big, full, round moon because it's the head of the month. But it's not. It's actually a tiny, tiny, tiny little sliver. And the reason we gave for that was, right, we said Rosh Chodesh. This is a review. I'm sorry for those who weren't here. But the reason we gave for that was Rosh Chodesh is unique for women. It is a holiday that's special for women. What's the reason that the Talmud tells us? Why is this unique for women, right? What does that mean, unique women dress? Yeah.
Because they didn't participate in building the golden calf.
Thank you, right? They didn't participate building the golden calf. When Moses went up to the mountain to get the Torah, and he came back down 40 days later, the Jewish nation, they missed accounting for a whole different time, right? And he saw the golden calf. How did they build this golden calf? The men would go around saying, who can give us their jewelry? Who can give us their jewelry? And the woman said, we're not giving it. And they said, what do you mean? We're building this golden calf. They said, we're not doing it. Don't worry, Moses is coming down. And what's your name? Like Rivka just said, right? That's why we got Rosh Chodesh. So it's a nice idea, but what does it have to do with Rosh Chodesh? Buy us jewelry, or give us a different holiday. Why is God giving us Rosh Chodesh? What did we say? Do you remember? For the exact reason why the moon is small, right? The moon is small. Comes Rosh Chodesh, you see it like this. And we're speaking about how women are the foundation when it comes to emunah, when it comes to faith, right? And just like comes Rosh Chodesh, and we look outside and we're like, where is this moon? And we don't see it, right? Same time then, right, the Jewish nation, the woman said, no, don't worry, Moses is coming back. Hold on, guys. The same way when they were in Egypt under 210 years of slavery, and the men wanted to divorce their wives, and they wanted to stop having children because they said, who's going to bring children into such a crazy war-torn place, right? And what did the women do? They got dressed up, and they reflected themselves in mirrors while the men were out on the field, and they made themselves really attractive so their husbands would be tempted to be with them, right? And that was one of the reasons we gave why Rosh Chodesh is unique to women. Moving on to Tishrei. Are we familiar with the month of Tishrei? What do we know about Tishrei?
Rosh Hashanah starts, and then a lot of the big holidays, so Kippur, Sukkot, Torah are all in the month.
All in Tishrei. You basically summed it up, which is Tishrei is packed. Tishrei is actually referred to as HaChodesh HaShvi'i. When you look into the Bible doesn't give the names of the months, right? It gives the numbers. This is the first month. Nisan is the first month of the Jewish year, right? And so comes Tishrei when the new year is, right? This is the Jewish New Year. We don't have the new year in January 1st, right? It's in Tishrei, usually it's actually in 2 months. In 2 months. It's in basically September, October time, right? And comes Tishrei, we have Rosh Hashanah, right? We have the new year, and that is called Chodesh HaShvi'i, the 7th month, right? It's not written in Tishrei, it's written the 7th month. 7 is a unique number in Judaism, right? Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our leader, was the 7th generation from Avraham Avinu, right? From Abraham, right? The first monotheistic Jew, right? David HaMelech, King David, who the Mashiach, Messiah, is going to come from him. He is the 7th son. Shemitah, which we just finished having a Shemitah year last year. You know what Shemitah is? Yes, right? Difficult if you live in Israel and you like fruits and vegetables, right? Shemitah is we can't work the land in the 7th year. Shemitah is the 7th year, right? There are 7 weeks when we count the Omer between Passover and Shavuot. When we get the Torah, there are 7 weeks that we do the counting. There are 7 colors in our rainbow. There are 7 notes on the musical scale. There are 7 days in a week. God bless the 7th day. 7th is a big number. Tishrei, yeah.
Can you repeat what the King David?
King David is the 7th son. Mashiach comes to him. I'm just throwing out a few examples. Please stop me at any time if you have questions. 7 is a packed number. Tishrei is called Chodesh HaShvi'i, the 7th month. This month has more mitzvot than any other month. right? It's called, in English, the strong month. Why is it called the strong month? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our three forefathers, were born in this month. It's a pivotal, foundational month. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. Why? Like you said, there is Rosh Hashanah, which means the head of the year, right? Do you need me to write it in English? New Year? You got Rosh Hashanah? Yeah? New Year. Okay, fine. This is the New Year. Right after Rosh Hashanah, I'm just writing it so we first have the map, and then we're going to discuss it, so don't get bored yet, okay? This is the first and second day of Tishrei. It's 2-day holiday, both in Israel and outside Israel. Usually the holidays are 1 day in Israel, 2 outside. It's 2 days in Israel also, okay? We have Rosh Hashanah. The day after Rosh Hashanah, which is actually really nice, after having a 2-day festival of eating, is a fast day called Tzom Gedalia, which we're going to get to all of these. Today we're just discussing, actually, Rosh Hashanah. Tzom Gedalia, the fast of Gedalia. This is the 3rd day of Tishrei. And then you have Aseret Yemei Tshuva, which is actually this whole thing. Aseret Yemei Tshuva, which is the 10 days of repentance, right? This starts from the first day of Rosh Hashanah, and it ends when? When's the last day of 10 days of repentance? Yom Kippur, right? Then we have Yom Kippur, which, what day of Tishrei is it on? If Aseret Yemei Tshuva starts on the 1st of Tishrei. 10th, thank you, right? It's the 10th Yom Kippur. It's the 10th day of Tishrei, right? Because we said that Rosh Hashanah is day 1, and 10 days from here is Yom Kippur. 5 days after Yom Kippur is a wild holiday called Sukkot, right? That is when you see Jews living in huts for a week with branches on top. That's called Sukkot. Then there's an independent holiday immediately after Sukkot called Simchat Torah, and which is the joy of Torah, and Simchat Torah, and it's called Shemini Atzeret. Shemini Atzeret, which means the joy of the Torah. This is the joy, sorry for the messiness, of Torah. And Shemini Atzeret means the 8th gathering. We'll get there. 8th gathering. And this is a 7-day holiday. Whoa. We get the map? So the obvious question is, God, couldn't you have split it up a little bit, right, throughout the year? It is packed, especially if you live in Jerusalem. You feel it in the air. You feel everything more in the air here, everything. So you feel it in the air. God, couldn't you have split it up a little bit? Let's first give the practical reason. Why is it all in this order, one after another, in the 7th month, in the strong month, in the month where it is important and it's foundational? Rosh Hashanah, Tzom Gedalia, a fast day, and then 10 days of repentance where people are doing real inner work, right? Then Yom Kippur, which is a 24-hour fast day where you cannot eat, right? You are in shul the entire time. After Yom Kippur, you have Sukkot, 7 days. Oh, sorry, I didn't write the date. Sukkot is the 15th of Tishrei. Right? Then you have Sukkot, which is a 7-day holiday. Then after that, if that's not enough, we have something called Simchat Torah, which is the annual finishing of the Torah cycle, right? And you go to shul, and you hold the Torah, and you eat the candies, right? Packed, right? So on a practical level, that's when they all fell out, right? That's when they all fell out. What happened on these days? I'm just giving you the background. Rosh Hashanah, what are we celebrating? New Year. When? Was that when the world was created, or? No, what was created? Adam, thank you. Adam and Eve, they were created back to back. We know that, right? Men were not created before women. Women were not created before men. It says in the Torah, back to back, Zachar unukeva baruoto. God created them male and female together. Side point, so we know that's what marriage is. Just so you know, you were one in the beginning. I split you up, right? And then when 2 people get married, it's 2 half souls becoming one, just like Adam and Chava. Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of mankind. Adam Harishon was born on Rosh Hashanah. Then Tzom Gedalia is a fast day where the governor of Jerusalem died. It's considered a minor fast day, right? It's not Yom Kippur, right? It's not like the Tisha B'Av, which is next week, the 9th of Av, when the temples were destroyed, but still a fast day. So the governor of Jerusalem was assassinated. When? That's when his name is Gedaliah. He was the governor of Jerusalem after the temples were destroyed, and he was assassinated. He was working on building up Jerusalem, and then someone killed him. So it's commemorating that. The 10 days of repentance are just working towards Yom Kippur. Why is Yom Kippur on Yom Kippur? Why did it fall out then? Do we know why? Was it arbitrarily chosen? Nothing's arbitrarily chosen. It was a trick question. Anyone know why Yom Kippur is Yom Kippur? No, it was the first national fast day. It was the first national day of forgiveness. That is when Moses came down from the mountain. How many times was Moses on the mountain? Twice. 2 + 1 is 3. 3. Yes, 3. Thank you. 3 times. Moses on the mountain 3 times. He went up 1 time to get the Torah. He came back down, and the guys were serving a idol, a golden calf. Thank you. He went back up to get forgiveness. He came back down 40 days later and said, "Don't worry, guys, God's not going to kill you." And then he went back up a 3rd time for 40 days. He came back down and said, "And now God forgives you." Right? And now God forgives you. And that was 120 days, 4 times 3, right? So that's when Yom Kippur falls out. 120 days from Shavuot till Yom Kippur that's the 3 times Moses was on the mountain. Is that clear? Yeah?
Sorry, I may be completely wrong, but didn't he come back down with the 10 Commandments and then broke the tablets and had to go back up?
Yes. That was the first time. That was the first time, exactly. And he went up 2 more times. And then it comes Sukkot, which is when the clouds of glory return. They're commemorating the Jews were in a tent. We'll speak about that when we speak at Sukkot. And this is the layout. It's actually a map for our lives, Tishrei. God created a map called Tishrei, which the goal is to be the best you can be. To be the best you that you can be. What is the map? The destination is life, right? We're going towards life. Life is when I can be who I want to be. We think freedom means I can do whatever I want, right? That's what it means to be free, right? Freedom, I could say whatever I want. Most times when people are saying that, they're actually slaves, just slaves to someone else, right? I can do whatever I want, so now I'm doing what my friends want me to do in the club, or I'm just doing whatever my boyfriend wants me to do. It doesn't mean that you're free. Free means, who is a free person? Someone who can be who they are. Freedom isn't doing, freedom is being. That's what we're working for during the month of Tishrei. We have Rosh Hashanah, which is the 2 days where we are clarifying our vision. What do I want to do this year? It's the first day of the year. Well, God put it into our calendar that every single year we can just choose to be a different person. We said last class when we were speaking about Rosh Chodesh, Rav Tzadok asks, why did God create something called sleeping? Why do we need sleep? If you've ever been sleep deprived, you know that question. Why do I need sleep? Right? So we can have that little bit of a feeling of what it means to go to bed, you had a bad day, then wake up, okay, fine, all I needed was some sleep. The idea of waking up. Rosh Hashanah is waking up. Just that washing your face in the morning. 1 second, I'm throwing out whoever I was last year, that was trash. Important trash, that's what Sukkot is. But that's not me, now I can be who I really want to be. Rosh Hashanah is, who do I want to be? Yom Kippur, and 10 days of repentance, all this time period, Yom Kippur is, now that I have the vision of who I want to be, I'm getting all that junk off me, the junk that's not me. That's what Yom Kippur is, right? You would think that Yom Kippur should be before Rosh Hashanah, right? Yom Kippur is the day of atonement, of forgiveness. I hate that word, atonement. It's a day of forgiveness, right? So it should be, let me first be forgiven for all of my sins, right? And then I can start fresh. Does that make sense? Are we all together? Yeah. Stop at any point. But you can't, what's that line? If you don't know where you're going, every train is the wrong one, right? It doesn't matter what kind of car that you're driving, right? It just matters where are you going. So we can't have a Yom Kippur before we have Rosh Hashanah, because what exactly are you getting rid of? What exactly are you doing? So Rosh Hashanah is clarifying. Yom Kippur is now that I know what I want, now that I have that vision, I'm getting rid of whatever's not me. And Sukkot is bringing that out into the world. It's physical. It's bringing all that out into the world. We'll speak about when we get to Sukkot. Okay.